The Ice Duckling's Magical Night. A winter wonderland begins. Winter had arrived in the frosty town of Snowville. People bundled up in warm coats, scarves, and mittens, ready to celebrate the town's famous Winter Ice Festival. On this special day, ice sculptors from all over came to Snowville's Central Park. They carved giant ice sculptures using chisels, hammers, and saws. Clang! Clang! Tap, tap, tap! The sound of carving filled the air. At first, the ice blocks looked plain and ordinary, but slowly, the shapes started to appear like magic. A giant ice bear and her cubs. A shining ice horse. A graceful moon fairy floating in the sky. The festival was going to be spectacular. A boy's big dream. Among the busy artists, a young boy named Charlie watched in awe. He loved art and sculpting, but there was a problem. He wasn't allowed to carve. Charlie walked up to Mr. Frost, the man handing out ice blocks. "Can I carve a sculpture too?" Charlie asked excitedly. Mr. Frost shook his head. "Sorry, kid, you need a registration card." Charlie's heart sank. He had no card, no tools, no ice. He sighed and watched the artists bring their creations to life. Then, something unexpected happened. A chunk of ice broke off from a sculpture and landed right at Charlie's feet. He picked it up and turned it in his hands. "This piece is small, but I can still make something," he thought. Charlie smiled. He had an idea. A tiny ice duckling is born. Charlie sat down in a quiet corner. With his cold red fingers, he carefully chiseled and shaped the ice. Slowly, a tiny figure appeared. A small round head. Two curious little eyes. A tiny beak and stretched feet. It was a duckling! "You're perfect," Charlie whispered, holding up his tiny ice duckling. But then he frowned. "You're so small. Where should I put you? If I leave you on the ground, someone might step on you." Charlie looked around. Then he spotted a beautiful stone swan statue. "That's it," he thought. Charlie quickly climbed onto the statue's pedestal and gently placed the ice duckling at the swan's feet. "There, now everyone will see you," he whispered with a grin. The magical night begins. As the sun set behind the frosty hills, something magical happened. The Winter Ice Festival began. Colorful ice lanterns lit up one by one, filling the park with twinkling reds, blues, and greens. Ice baskets overflowed with glowing fruit. A frozen carousel spun under shimmering lights. The grand ice palace sparkled like a fairy tale castle. Visitors from all over the country marveled at the sculptures, taking pictures and gasping in delight. And there, among the giant ice creations, sat the tiny ice duckling, glowing in the soft winter light. She felt happy and proud. Her first night in the world was beautiful. As she looked around, she searched for Charlie's red cheeks in the crowd. "I hope his fingers aren't frozen anymore," she thought. And somewhere in the crowd, Charlie smiled, knowing that his tiny duckling had found the perfect home.